Hey guys, so today we're gonna be doing tie-dye, and I'm gonna be doing this tie-dye with my youngest son and my daughter. So we're gonna be doing the tie-dye with this kit right here, which is the Tulip one-step tie-dye kit, and it brings, I believe, so it brings 12 packets of color, but it only brings 8 bottles that you can fill. It also brings, okay, you're gonna see right here, it brings this kit includes 8 bottles, empty bottles, 12 packets of color, 8 gloves, 40 rubber bands, then you have a reusable table cover, and it has instructions as well. So it shows you how to make several designs right here. And you are supposed to wait 6 to 8 hours and then rinse the garment after you're done tie-dyeing it. And all these colors right here are the colors that it brings. So it has quite a variety of colors, but like I said, it only brings 8 applicator bottles, so you're gonna have to find other bottles to use as well if you want to use all the colors. All right, so the packets that it brings are in powder form. Like the colors are in powder form, so it's very messy. The first time that we try it, I'm gonna show some clips of that time. It was a whole lot of mess. It was a lot of mess because I didn't know how exactly to use all this, and I let the kids open up the powder pouches, and they were pouring it in the bottles, and it was creating a mess on the table. And then on top of that, they put their projects, so they were not necessarily the color that they wanted to end up with. What I did afterwards, and this is another thing, wear the gloves because you're gonna get really stained on your skin if you don't wear the gloves. Another thing that I did afterwards was use some regular water bottles and poke a hole at the top. So I use these as my applicator bottles because I think that that way you have like more bottles, and they're pretty cheap, you know. Bottled water is cheaper than going out and getting applicator bottles from Tulip at the craft store. Okay. Another thing is that I suggest is that you go ahead and go get yourself a tablecloth, one of those plastic tablecloths at the dollar store, because the plastic that it brings is pretty small. I would say it's about 36 inches by 36 inches, and you're gonna need a whole lot more space than that unless it's only one person doing the project. So I suggest that you do go get a regular long tablecloth plastic from the dollar store, that if you want, you could wash it out afterwards and reuse it for another project, or you could just toss it out. All right, so you're gonna see how you're gonna see footage from both times that we did the tie-dye. The first time, which was a hot mess, and you're gonna see it the second time that I had already learned a lot of things. Usually we see it on YouTube and it looks so easy. They have everything ready and set up, and you don't get to see what a mess it could create. But I'm showing you footage of the mess that we made, and even the mess that ended up being my sink in my bathroom. And then you're also gonna be seeing footage of when we learned some tips and how it turned out the second time. So at the end, I am also gonna be showing you all the projects that we made already dry and ready to wear or ready to use. I am also dyeing some fabric that is gonna end up being a face cover, like a mask, a face mask. So you're gonna see that as well, but I'm gonna show it to you once it was done, like the piece of fabric, and I'm also gonna show it to you once it's a face cover. All right, so we are going to get started. It's very hard to pour the powder in there without dropping it all over.
I don't know. I suck at this. Wow, this looks pretty epic. Like I said, it looks like a Martian kid just kind of it was a joke. I'm just trying to learn flamingo.
This is not how you do it.
Wow, that's epic. People are gonna be like, wow, who's that girl?
Yeah!
At least it better than us. Yeet! Oh, that looks cool. Shit. Is that actually how you're supposed to do it?
Something like that, but
Can you teach me the ways of the Hokage? Huh? Like, flip this?
no, what?
Like how?
From the middle, just start turning it.
Stop. Like this.
Kind of make sure it's not like.
Hey, this is how you do it?
You were close, and now you're just weird.
Like this? I think it looked cool because mine looks like an abomination.
There's literally. Oh god.
Mine's gonna look like an abomination of mankind.
So there are some leftover dyes because there's not enough bottles. It brings 8 bottles, and it brings more dyes than bottles. So I had the water right here, but this was really hard to pour into the bottles without dropping it everywhere.
Do it.
This is what the sink is looking like. This is just fabric that I'm trying to stain because I'm gonna be using this. I'm gonna be making face masks out of this fabric. Alright, so I'm just gonna crumble it up. I like kind of like that cloud looking. I like that cloud looking look. The cloud look. And that's the reason why I'm gonna make it like this, and let's see what happens. Okay. Everything got stained already because we were trying to get all that powder inside the bottles. And as we were doing that, we got everything dirty. So I suggest that you fill them up with the powder like at the sink, and once you're sure that they're like really nice and clean like on the outside, then you'll bring them to your work area. And don't let the kids do this, like don't let the kids fill up the bottles and put the powder in there because it's quite messy. I like for it to have some white on it. All right, now I'm gonna go on to the next piece, and this one's gonna have the lime green. Blue. Now this is a different type of fabric. This one is actually kind of like a little more polyester in it. It's not completely cotton, so we're gonna see what difference that makes. Alrighty, I'm gonna now work on this one right here, and unfortunately, like, lots of green is already on it because that was not what I wanted for it, but we'll see. Okay, so right now I finished, and what I did was that I put all my filled bottles inside this plastic container, and I put all the extra dyes, like powder dyes, in there as well, and the rubber bands, and I'm gonna keep this away from kids somewhere. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, what each piece looks like with the dye, and I'm going to show you what a huge mess this makes. So make sure that first of all you wear something over your clothing, like something plastic over, but I think it's best if you use a t-shirt or clothing that you can get dirty, and that it doesn't matter if you ruin it, because that's what you use it for projects. Also make sure that you protect your surface. I use the plastic tablecloth, although it does bring, like I said, it does bring a plastic thing. It brings this right here, and this is to cover the surface that you're going to be using for your project. But I'm going to be using this to cover the projects that I already made. Instead of putting them in a bag, I'm going to cover them with this. And also my sink is really bad. It's really stained because it's a white sink. So yeah, you're gonna want to protect things. It says in the instructions to leave them from 6 to 8 hours, and then you have to rinse them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be rinsing them with cold water tomorrow, and then I'm gonna show you the results. So what they have done already is wet their shirts.
Stop it.
So they're basically damp, right?
Yeah, like you're...
And now I have put all the colors in here.
You laughed at it.
I have put them into regular water bottles, which are like what, 16 ounces?
She basically wasted water bottles, but that's none of my business.
So instead of putting them in here, these are very diluted, so I'm trying to make like pastels with these.
Hey!
And these are a little more diluted than normal, so they're not gonna be as bright.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a little less bright, but not pastel. All right, so we're gonna hope that we can remember what these colors are, because they will look the same.
What the?
Okay.
What the shit?
All right, so are you guys gonna do any special technique, or just
I guess we're gonna do that one thing like last time. I kind of want to do better.
All right, so this is the plastic thing
This plastic
that it brings, but it's kind of small. You need to grab onto it.
No, I don't want to.
Is it this way or that way? This way?
Any way you want it, boo.
You're so...
Just make sure you don't grab the plastic along with it.
No, I think I'm gonna do that. It sounds like fun.
Sounds like very much
So it's to make like a swirl. That's like the idea.
Haha, swirl, ha. Girl meets swirl.
Sorry, mother. We don't need this. That's for amateurs.
You're gonna need that when you're gonna put the paint on it, because there's no way that I'm gonna let you put paint on my table.
I don't put paint on the table.
No.
No, mommy, no.
Alright. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Let's get this. You're only getting views because of this. When you try to see.
Stay on your side, mate.
I suggest you wear a protective covering over your clothing, like an apron, if you don't want to get it stained. And I'm using regular gloves instead of the ones that come in the kit because they're more comfortable. All right. So first off, I'm gonna do this t-shirt right here, and I am gonna do like I'm just gonna do like a twist like the kids did. So it's kind of like a spiral, and this is gonna be my first project, and I'm gonna leave it right there. Then I'm gonna do this one right here, and this is just a beige piece of fabric that I'm gonna be making face masks with this. So I'm gonna be kind of like scrunching it up. So that's just gonna be like scrunched up. Alrighty. And then I'm gonna do this one, which is a regular t-shirt. And with this one, I think I'm gonna be doing ties. So I'm gonna do the tying technique. And I think at this point I have diluted the solution so much that I am hoping it's a little more, I'm hoping that it's a little more like pastel. And now I am just going to scrunch it up like this. All right, so the idea with this one right here is gonna be to make it more like warm colors. So I'm gonna be using red, very diluted red, purple, and orange. gonna add more concentrated purple and pink, so there you can see like the actual like purple. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some concentrated pink. Looking very much like My Little Pony, and that's okay. And remember, this is gonna be a face mask, fabric for face mask. All right, now I'm gonna do this one right here, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with this, but I think it's gonna be more like green and blues, so I'm gonna begin. Just doing some cleanup because I don't want this dye to get over to this side. It's completely different colors that I'm using on here, and I don't want it to go on this side. I have tried to keep within the same color families just because last time I did use different color, kind of like make it look like a rainbow, and it doesn't look so good. So that's why I decided this time to dilute it a little bit more so it's not as strong, and also to stay within the same color family. All right, so next time you see me, this is all gonna be already washed and dried and ready to wear. Bye. See you in a little bit. All right, so I have the finished results for all the garments that we tie-dye, and I am so excited. First of all, this one right here, it's actually from Claire's. I did not tie-dye this myself. This is from Claire's. But I only thought that it was very appropriate because, you know, it's tie-dye. First of all, I'm going to show you what the pieces of fabric that I tie-dye look like, because at this point, I already made them into masks, so I don't have the actual piece of fabric anymore. So I'm going to show it to you right now. It's going to come out in video here or here. And while I'm showing you that, I am gonna show you what the mask looks like. So the first mask is this one right here, and it's looking like this. I'm trying to get you to see the colors of it. It looks like this. Now I haven't put the elastic on yet, and that's why I'm like holding it, but this is what it looks like, okay? There you go. This one is also from the pink purple fabric that I tie-dye, and it looks like this. And then from the blue fabric, I I made more than that, but for now I only have 2 of them. So I have this one right here. It looks like this. This one I love because it has like hues of like purplish, blue, green, and lime green. Like it's really pretty. And then this one, it's kind of like the same, except on this side it's a little bit lighter than this side, which is a little more bright. So for these right here, for the blue ones, if you remember, I actually used the pure dye, like it says to use it on the instructions. But for the other one right here, which is like the one that's like a really light pink and like a light purple, like lavender color, this one right here I used diluted dye. Like I actually diluted it a lot more than it said in the instructions, so that's why it came out a little bit lighter. The first shirts that I dyed, it's the ones with the strongest colors, right? And this one I really don't like how it came out. This one is very, very strong. That's this one right here. And I mean, this is rib knit, so that's why it took so well. Like it took the dye really, really well. It's not my favorite just because I feel like it looks like very like patchy here, patchy there, but I think that's the whole idea, to make it kind of patchy. I think that I might come back and add like a little more dye to these areas right here and be specific about where I put them, just so all of it can be dyed, because I just don't like these like empty spaces because it looks too patchy for my taste. But it's a beautiful dye. Like look how strong the colors are. It's really, really, really nice. So the next shirt that I dyed, and this was my shirt that I did, was this one right here. And this one is the shirt I got at Walmart. This one's also patchy like the first one because of the technique that I used, but I like this one a lot better. And I think it's because I used like kind of like not contrasting colors. So I really, really, really like this one, how it came out. This is the one that my daughter made. And remember that she was like twisting. And this is the effect that it gave. And in the back as well. So she used many different colors here. She has the blue, the greens, the purples, pinks. And that's what she used on this one. And it also has like wine sort of like little dots. It just reminds me of like the outer space, like the universe. Like I think it's really cool. So that's the one that she made. So now for the ones that we did in the second part of the video, which was the ones that were diluted a little bit more. And this is the first one right here, and this is the one my son made. It's a little dirty right here because he was wearing it the other day and he got like something on it. But look how beautiful these colors are. Look at this. And he was using the same technique, the one that you just like twist. And that's what it looks like. This is the back. The sleeves are like a bright, like, it's like bright pastels. That's what I love about it. It goes very well with this like headband right here. It's like bright pastels. So pretty. These t-shirts are from, yeah, they're both Gildan, but this one I got at Michael's, and this one I got at Hobby Lobby. This one right here is the one my daughter made, and it's from the second, also from the diluted dye. You can see it right here. She used like the blue and she used the purple. So basically that's all she used, blue and purple. And it came out like also like a bright pastel. The one I made, it's this one right here. And this is also on one of those Gildan shirts. And this reminds me so much of Toy Story. Like the clouds from Toy Story. I don't know if you remember, but this is what it reminds me of. The clouds from Toy Story. I don't know if like you're able to see like the colors on camera because of the lights. but this is really pretty. I do feel like I use two colors here. I use blue and I use green, like more like a lime green. And you could kind of see a hint of it, like over here. It looks more like it's yellowing, which is not what I was going for. But it's cute. And then over here at the bottom, I did like those little gathers that I put the rubber band on them. And that's why you have like a little bit of a concentrated sort of like area right here. I did it in several areas. I did it somewhere over here, here, and somewhere in the middle, which you can't see it. With that dye, with the one that I did at the end, because it was so diluted, the colors are a lot lighter. It did work for the blue. It looks more like a pastel because that's what I was going for, pastels. But for the green, you need a little more concentration to it for it to actually show up. So on the blue, because it's such a strong pigment, even if you dilute it, it comes out nice and pastel. But like I said, for the green, it looked a little more yellowish once I diluted it. Okay, and the last one that I did was this t-shirt right here. And I'll tell you what happened with this t-shirt. All right, so I did that twist sort of like effect on it, and it looks really nice. The camera's not picking up on like all the colors of it because it does have a little more concentration to it that you see on the camera. But what I did want to tell you about this one is this. The first time that I did it, left it overnight, so it might have been like 10 hours, at least 10, like 12 hours from the time that I dyed it to the time that I put it in the washer. So it had to be over 10 hours. But as soon as like I put it in the washer and then took it out, it had like no color to it. All the color had gone away. It was so bad. And I believe it's because I diluted it way too much. And because this fabric is not 100% cotton. So it doesn't, I guess it doesn't take the dye as well as the 100% cotton fabric. So I had to go back in and kind of do it again. And this time I used a little more concentrated dye. And I used like the strongest colors. So I had to put like the magenta and like the strong purple, like not the very diluted version, but a little stronger. It was still not the one from the beginning. Like it wasn't as strong, like as pure as the one from the beginning, but it was a little bit more diluted. But this is what it came out looking like, and I really think it's cute. And there's parts that are a little darker than others, and that's okay. That's what I love about tie-dye, that you kind of do whatever you want, you know? And you do it like every piece is gonna come out different. So that's the great thing. It's very unique and it's very you. It's what you like. So yeah, that's it for my tie-dyeing video. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.